today we're going to be working with square roots, so radicals. So I just wanted to go through some perfect squares here with you today. And that's what we're going to be kind of focusing on, nice perfect squares. So if you take the square root of 1, it becomes 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. Square root of 4 there is 2 because 2 times 2 there is 4. The square root of 9 is 3 because 3 times 3 is 9. The square root of 16 is 4 because 4 times 4 is 16. Square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. The square root of 36 is 6. The square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 64 is 8. Square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 100 is 10. Square root of 121 is 11. Square root of 144 is 12. Square root of 169 is 13. Square root of 196 is 14. And square root of 225 is 15. Those are considered all nice perfect squares. So those are the ones you can find the square root of up through from 1 to 225. So now coming on over here, we're just going to have a bunch of random ones, and we're going to have to find the square roots, the fourth roots, and the third roots. So when you're thinking of them, you're thinking about, underneath square roots, you're thinking about two numbers. What times what gives you 4 that you actually find the square root of. Or I'm sorry, the square root of 4 there is just 2. We can just know that from the last page. Square root of 9 there's 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. And 2 times 2 there's 4. 256, because you've got a fourth root. When you do the square root, it's like there's a 2 out here, but we don't write it. So you're thinking about what two numbers being multiplied in there, and then because there's 2 of them in there, it's only, you bring out the single one of them. Here you've got a 4 here. You're thinking about the fourth root of 256. So you're thinking about this 4 numbers being multiplied by each other that give you 256, and it has to be the same number there. So you have to think about what times what times what times what gives you 256. And I'm thinking it's 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. So it is. And again, you could go on your calculator for these because most of these are going to turn out nice. And I'll kind of show you where the square root button, especially if you got the TI-83s or TI-84s, we could go through and show you where those are at. So if you pull out your calculator there, let's just plug them in there because these should come out nicely here. But later on, you're going to have to be able to break these down. So don't become too dependent upon this. So if I come over here, the square root button is right above the x squared key. So if I want squared, I can go second x squared. And I can punch in 4, for instance, and hit enter. I could find the square root there of 9, hit enter, and I get 3. So, and then our other one there is a fourth root of 256. So let's try that one. To get the fourth root there, some of you have to punch in 4 first, and then you go to your math key there, and you go down to number 5 there. It says the x root. You can either hit 5 now, or you can go down to number 5 and hit enter. And then you can put in 256, hit enter, and I get 4. So the fourth root of 256 there is 4. So for instance, this one here, again, like in here, if I want, I could put it in here. It's because there's 4 of them in there. Over here, the fourth root of -1. So we could do that on our calculator there. Let's try. I'm going to punch in the fourth root of -1. So I'm going to punch in 4, hit my math key. I'm going to go down to number 5, put in -1, enter, and I should get an error on that one. The reason why is you can't take the fourth root of a negative, and you can't take an even root of a negative. Take an even root of a negative number. So this one here, no real solution. But you can take an odd root of a negative number. So I'm just going to write down, can take an odd root of an negative number. Can take an odd root of a negative number. So if I punch in the third root of negative 27, so on this one here, I can just do math and go down to third root, which is number 4. And I can put in negative 27. I'm going to get negative 3. And that's because underneath here, I can take negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 and multiply. Negative 3 is in there. Negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 is negative 27. And you can take the third root of that. So now I'll do 729. So let's do math key. Go down to number 4. Let's punch in 729. And I get 9. And why is that? Because the third root of 9 times 9 times 9, see how they've got 3 9s in there? Being multiplied to give you 729. The third root of that is 9. All right, so now let's put some variables in here. You're going to do the same thing with your numbers as you've done all the way along. If you want, plug them right in your calculator. Square root of 16 there is 4. Now we've got the other part here. We've got the square root of x to the 8th. Now, you're not taking the square root there of x to the 8th. You're taking the square root of, remember, you got x to the 4th times x to the 4th is x to the 8th because you add those powers. You get 4 plus 4 there is 8. So really it becomes 4x to the 4th. All right, the third root there of a to the 6th times b to the 9th. So third root, remember you want them in there 3 times. So a to the 2nd times a to the 2nd times a to the 2nd and times b to the 3rd times b to the 3rd times b to the 3rd. So what 3 being multiplied in there have to be the same will multiply to give you a to the 6th. So I did a to the 2nd times a to the 2nd times a to the 2nd because 2 plus 2 plus 2 there is 6. Same thing with my 3. 3 plus 3 plus 3 there is 9. So if I take the third root there, I get a to the 2nd, b to the 3rd. Some people have a hard time with these. They can't see those all the time. So another way you can do this only works for the variables. Do not do this with the numbers. It will not work with the numbers. So I get a little, sometimes I don't want to do this and show you this other nice way because then you'll start doing it with your numbers. But you can't do it with just a nice like 16. I can't do this with. This only works with the variables to a power. Because I've got a 4th root out there in front, I can go ahead and figure out what x to the 8th force is, and then I can reduce down y to the 12th force. So I can take my power here and divide it by what's out there. I can take the 12 here and divide it by 4 there. And if I do it that way, 8 divided by 4 there is 2. 12 divided by 4 there is 3. So I get x to the 2nd, y to the 3rd. Does that make sense? So x to the 2nd times x to the 2nd times x to the 2nd times x to the 2nd. Got to be in there 4 times. Y to the 3rd times y to the 3rd times y to the 3rd times y to the 3rd. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 there gives me 8. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 gives me 12. So yes, x to the 2nd, y to the 3rd. So whichever way you want to look at that, just don't do it with these nice whole numbers here. Square root of 81 there is 9. Remember, there's like a little 2 out here, so I can go x to the 4 halves. Becomes 9x to the 2nd. Yes, x to the 2nd times x to the 2nd is x to the 4th, so the square root of x to the 4th is x to the 2nd. Letter E, the third root of E, A the 12th, B the 15th. Well, I don't have any big numbers. I don't have any, whole numbers there, so I can just go ahead and divide the 12 by the 3 and the 15 by the 3, and I get A the 4th, B the 5. All right, and then letter F there, similarly, I get x to the 12th force, y to the 16th force, so I get y to the 3rd, or x to the third, and y to the fourth. X to the third, y to the fourth. And then my last one on this page, the third root of negative 27, you can do that on your calculator, and you get negative 3. Then I'm going to do x to the 18 over 3, and y to the third over 3. So I get negative 3, x to the 6, y to the first, or just y. All right, so let's try the last page here. This one here is a division one, so you want to take the fourth root of the numerator, take the fourth root there of the denominator there. So the fourth root of 16 there is 2. And then you get c to the 4 over 4. And then down here, the fourth root of 81 there is 3. And then a to the 8 divided by 4. So really you get 2c the first and 3a to the second. Number 4 on your calculator, just go ahead and punch in 4, math key. Make sure you go down to the xth root and put in 0.00016. Gotta do that again. Somehow I'm not getting the correct answer. Math key 0.000. So something's going on with this one. Huh. All right, so I figured out it was wrong. I had the wrong problem up there. So it's supposed to be the fourth root of 0.0016. So we end up getting 0.2 y to the 4 divided by 4, which becomes 0.2 times y. And then letter J here, go ahead and do the third root. So I can do math, go down to the third root, punch in 0.125, and I get 0.5, x to the 3 divided by 3, y to the 6 divided by 3, and I get 0.5 x and y to the second. Letter K there, the fifth root of 32 there is 2, and you get y to the 10 divided by 5, so you get 2y to the second. Letter L, x to 20 divided by 4, y to 28 divided by 4, so we get x to the fifth, y to the seventh. And letter M there, if you look at this, you can do the same thing as what we did the other ones. So I can go ahead and take x minus 3 to the 4 divided by the 4. So I get x to the minus 3 to the first, or just x minus 3. And then remember what I said about this number letter n there. You have to go ahead and find the third root of negative 8 there, which is negative 2. And then you've got c plus a to the 3 divided by 3. So I get negative 2 to c plus a to the first. So there we have that.